Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are strapping in for what is, I think, one of the most fundamental shifts happening in global logistics and transportation.
It really is.
For decades, freight pricing was, well, it was predictable, maybe even a little dull. You had long negotiated contracts, fixed annual rates, a few spot bids here and there.
Right.
That era is essentially over.
It is. We're watching the entire freight sector, trucking, ocean shipping, you name it, undergo this profound AI-driven evolution. And our source material today really gets into the rise of dynamic pricing.
Which makes price adjustment a constant moment-to-moment reality.
Exactly.
So our mission for this deep dive is to take you right into that algorithmic world. We want to unpack how these AI engines are calculating rates, what the competitive landscape even looks like when pricing changes by the hour.
And critically, where both carriers and shippers can benefit. And of course, where the significant risks lie, because they're definitely there.
Okay, so let's define the shift first. Dynamic pricing, what is it exactly?
It's simply when rates adjust immediately in response to real-time changes in market conditions. I mean, you're already familiar with this in your daily life.
Sure, like surge pricing on a ride-hailing app.
Or airline tickets. You look 1 minute, it's one price. You look again an hour later, it's completely different.
Right, but applying that kind of volatility to moving, hundreds of tons of cargo, that's a different game entirely.
Yeah.
What sort of inputs are these freight AIs even looking at? It can't just be simple supply and demand.
Whoa, it's much, much denser than that. These algorithms analyze a truly complex stack of inputs, and they do it all at once. It's not just current capacity on a lane.
Okay.
It's immediate fuel costs, historical performance data for that exact route.
Yeah.
It's scraping competitor rates from the market. It's real-time route congestion.
No, it's even looking at traffic.
Traffic, local weather delays, geography, I mean, everything.
So if a major port in the southeast is suddenly hit by a tropical storm, the model for freight moving through that region adjusts.
Yeah.
Before a human logistics manager has even finished their morning coffee.
That's it, exactly. And by processing all that instantly, AI enables a level of precision, of speed that, traditional manual pricing with its spreadsheets and phone calls it can't match.
It's a move away from those historic averages.
Firmly into the real-time spot market.
Okay, let's unpack this for the carriers first. The logistics providers, the ones who own the trucks and ships. It seems immediately obvious why this is a huge win for them. I mean, vastly improved margin management.
The optimization comes from granularity. That's the key word. Before, carriers were stuck with these fixed contract rates they might have negotiated 6 months ago.
When diesel was cheaper or demand was completely different.
Right. Now, they can optimize pricing based on the actual market conditions for each specific shipment, not some old average.
So if there's a sudden surge for, say, refrigerated trucks moving produce on a Friday afternoon, the AI doesn't just raise the rate generally.
No. It calculates the precise intersection of high demand, low capacity, and increased cost for that specific time and lane, and it prices accordingly. It's surgical.
So you're locking in much better profitability.
You are. But the other side of that coin is maybe even more important, and that's better resource utilization.
Tell me more about that. How does dynamic pricing help fill the trucks?
Well, in the old system, if a carrier had unused capacity, a truck driving half empty on a return trip that was just
A lost asset.
an unleveraged asset, yeah. It's sitting idle or just not making what it could. With dynamic pricing, if the AI detects spare capacity on a route, it can immediately, and maybe just modestly, drop the rate for that lane.
Ah, okay. So it's not a big, broad discount.
No, it's a surgical price cut to encourage utilization, to capture volume that might have gone to a competitor or just not moved at all.
It's real-time revenue management.
That's what it is. And this agility, this is the major competitive advantage. The sources really stress this. Carriers who can rapidly adjust to disruptions, a canal blockage, a factory closure, they're just going to pull ahead of anyone still using static legacy models.
So in today's market, it's not just good business, it's survival.
It really is.
Okay, now for the flip side. We've got the shippers, the companies sending the goods. It's so easy to assume they're always losing here because prices can just shoot up. But the source material says they can also win. How?
They win through cost versus value alignment.
Yeah.
And speed. critically speed.
Okay, unpack that.
So when market conditions are good for them, say capacity is plentiful because of a seasonal, lull shippers can benefit from genuinely lower opportunistic rates that they just wouldn't get under a fixed contract.
So they're able to shot the market, basically, instantly,
Yeah.
instead of waiting for these long bidding processes.
That's the huge transactional shift. They gain flexibility, they can secure premium service when they absolutely need it, and they can see the price trade-offs so clearly.
Like a faster, more expensive route versus a slower, cheaper one.
Exactly. And the AI just presents those options with transparent, real-time quotes.
And that speed, that must translate directly into faster planning. We saw a great example in the sources, a carrier moving from a slow manual pricing process
Yeah, it took hours or days.
to a digital platform where they could close deals on the spot.
Yeah.
That's a massive operational advantage for a shipper.
It just accelerates the entire supply chain.
Yeah.
Shippers who are digitally capable, who are nimble, they benefit, they lock in good rates, and the moment conditions align, they're paying for exactly the value they need when they need it.
Okay, but this is where it gets really complicated. We've got flexibility and speed on one side, but the other side of that coin is volatility and risk.
Big risk.
If the price can drop low, it can spike just as high, right?
Yeah.
Where does the losing happen?
The core tension is cost predictability. For a shipper, what was affordable on a Tuesday might spike, 40% by Thursday. And it might be because of something happening in a totally different region that's tightening up capacity somewhere else.
That sounds like a budgeting nightmare. I'm just picturing a CFO trying to forecast logistics spend when the cost is changing every single day. How do you even do that?
It forces you into dynamic budgeting, which is, it's really hard. And for the less data-savvy shippers, they're at a fundamental disadvantage.
Oh.
If they can't react as fast as the major carriers with their optimized AI systems running 24/7, they will just constantly get less favorable rates. They're slower to the draw. It becomes this high-tech pricing game, and not everyone has the same tools.
Which brings us right to the second big risk.
Yeah,
All the data and system dependencies. This isn't magic, right? The AI is only as good as its inputs.
100%. And high-quality data in this B2B setting it's a high bar. We're talking about clean, integrated, immediate data.
So you're merging external feeds like port congestion data.
Real-time port data, fuel cost indexes, geopolitical risk scores, and you're merging that with your own internal data, historical bid acceptance rates, truck maintenance schedules.
Wow, even down to loading times at specific depots?
You have to, because if you feed garbage data into an algorithm that's managing your margins, you get garbage out. You get catastrophic outputs.
Mispriced shipments.
Majorly mispriced shipments. For a carrier, you might price a critical load at a massive loss. For a shipper, the system might quote a rate the carrier then has to reject, causing huge delays.
So the foundation isn't even the AI model itself. It's the massive ongoing investment in the data infrastructure that feeds it.
That's it. The sources make a great point. This only works if you have high volatility, good data, and buy-in from your stakeholders. Without that executive buy-in for the data investment, the whole project just stalls.
Let's talk about risk 3. This one feels more human. It's the erosion of customer trust. If the price of shipping my product suddenly jumps and my carrier just says the algorithm did it, I'm going to be skeptical.
Yeah, you'd be furious. That's the black box problem. Frequent, unexplainable price changes create what the sources call price instability and eroded customer trust.
It destroys the partnership.
It can. Imagine you're the logistics manager calling your carrier about a rate that just spiked. If they can't explain why, if they can't say, well, the algorithm saw competitors' bids jump and there's a new rail congestion warning, it just looks like they're gouging you.
So that tactical disadvantage we mentioned, it applies to smaller players on both sides.
It does. Smaller carriers might not have the capital or the team to develop these tools.
So they're always just reacting to the market instead of shaping it. They're just taking the prices they're given.
They are. They struggle to optimize their own loads, and they find the big players always snag the best rates because they can instantly calculate that profitable sweet spot. It's a technology arms race.
Okay, so if this is the direction the industry is heading, how do you do it right? You can't just unleash an automated tool and walk away, clearly.
You absolutely cannot. The implementation, it requires balancing science and art. The science is the algorithm, the data.
Right.
But that has to align with the art of your business strategy. Are you trying to maximize margin, capture volume, provide premium service to a key account? The AI needs to know the goal.
And human judgment has to be able to override the machine.
It is essential. There's that great example from UPS in the sources. The sales rep says, I know my region. I know this customer. I know this market fluctuation is temporary.
Science can't account for everything.
It can't. The AI provides a recommendation, a powerful one. But human oversight sets the boundaries. It vetoes the crazy outliers. It adjusts for relationships that data can't quantify.
And this all comes back to transparency, doesn't it? You have
Yeah.
to be able to communicate the why.
You do. To maintain trust, carriers have to invest in what's called explainable AI, or XAI. The system has to let a user ask why a price was generated. Was it fuel, demand, congestion? If you can defend the price with data, the trust stays.
And having all this data allows for much smarter pricing through customer segmentation.
That's a huge tactical advantage. AI models let carriers look at their customer base and segment them granularly, based on their behavior, their value, their geography.
So you don't treat the loyal, strategic partner the same way you treat a one-off shipper who is just shopping for the lowest price.
Exactly. The pricing strategy reflects that nuance. If a customer needs premium on-demand service, the model prices that accordingly. If another is planning 6 months out and is price sensitive, the AI can offer a lower guaranteed forward rate. It's much more strategic.
So if we zoom all the way out, what does this mean for the whole logistics ecosystem? What are the biggest strategic implications?
Carriers are fundamentally transforming into digital service providers. They're becoming more like sophisticated trading desks, constantly adjusting prices based on real-time market signals.
Which means the most critical asset is shifting.
It is. Data and analytics are becoming the core assets, maybe even more important than the physical trucks and ships themselves.
That's a huge statement.
But it's where we're headed. The companies that can gather, clean, and leverage data most effectively will win. They'll dominate. And those who lag on data maturity will find themselves paying a premium or struggling to fill their capacity.
Okay, so to summarize our deep dive here, carriers are winning through better margin management, better asset use, and just pure market agility.
Right. And shippers can win. They win through faster decisions, more transparency into their trade-offs, and a better match between what they pay and the service they get.
But the risks are massive.
They are. Centered on that cost and predictability for shippers, the total dependence on pristine data, and the potential for trust to just evaporate if the AI is an unexplained black box.
So success really relies on data governance, smart segmentation, and that crucial human oversight to balance the science and the art.
That's the formula.
The entire system is now this feedback loop. Pricing isn't a fixed number anymore. It's an ongoing negotiation with the market itself, with AI as the mediator. So here's the final thought for you to chew on. If data and analytics truly are becoming the core assets of logistics, how aggressively must shippers invest in their own decision-making tools to make sure they aren't just passively reacting to the prices their carriers' algorithms dictate, but are actively participating, challenging, and pushing back in this new dynamic pricing game?
That's the strategic challenge ahead. A fascinating future indeed.
Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.